Ex-President Jonathan's next move amid North's zoning gambit. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike's recent tirade against the leadership of the main opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) came as a bad weather report for the 2023 presidential election. Responding to a question on a television program monitored in Lagos, Governor Wike regretted that the PDP leaders were not living up to expectations as a purposeful opposition party prepared to take over the reins of power from the governing All Progressive Congress (APC). Vowing that he would never contemplate defecting to APC, Wike vowed to resist anybody that tries to destroy PDP, even as he lamented an opposition party that ought to be united work to take over the affairs of the government because people are waiting for the opportunity, but the current leadership of the National Working Committee is not prepared for that. Rather, what they have done is to constitute some people to sow a seed of discord among governors for their own selfish interests, and that will boomerang, that will consume them. PDP ought to have harvested from the inefficiency of the APC, from the maladministration of the APC. Ordinarily, that is what the opposition party ought to do. The present National Working Committee is not interested or doing anything to take over the realms of governing in 2023. When your interest is to remain in power, you are no longer interested to win the election. Coming barely 1 week after his Imo counterpart, Senator Hope Uzodinma, disclosed that his party APC was all out to lure every opposition politician in Southeast to the governing party, Wike's tirade raised fresh concerns about the stability of PDP. But despite Wike's appeal to unity and loyalty, some PDP stalwarts insist that internal disharmony makes it impossible for members to enjoy their democratic freedom, especially given the overbearing influence of state governors. Former Delta State Governor Dr. Emmanuel Uduaghan's confession led to internal frustrations that forced otherwise loyal party faithful out of PDP. Explaining the reason behind his defection to APC, Uduaghan, who recently rejoined PDP, said, "There was a knee on my neck," remarking, however, that now that he returned, he can breathe. Although mixed reactions trailed his decampment from the PDP to APC, Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State also hinted at some internal discomfort in the main opposition party. Speaker of Ebonyi State House of Assembly Francis Uwinfuru, who prepared the ground for Umahi's eventual official defection, in a press conference alleged that there were plans to remove Prince Uche Secondus, the PDP national chairman, from office. Fast forward to the build-up to another general election cycle in 2023, former President Goodluck Jonathan, who was disdained, defeated, and displaced by APC in 2015, is being burnished for another national assignment. Just as virtually every major political push by the governing APC begins as a rumor, the new liking for Jonathan began in no coarsely. At first, it was his frequent sallies to and fro from the presidential villa, where he was to confer with President Buhari on some continental assignment that revolved around elections and peace building. But heads turned when shortly after the People's Democratic Party (PDP) lost the Bayelsa State governorship pool late last year. Some state governors elected on the platform of APC, including Senator Atiku Bagudu and Alhaji Mohammed Bandaru, paid what was considered a thank-you visit on Jonathan in his country home at Atoke shortly after the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) announced Mr. David Leon of APC as the winner of the November 16, 2019 poll. The 2019 visit by APC governors was replicated last month shortly after Jonathan celebrated his 63rd birthday. Apart from Bangudu and Bandaru, who was on the previous visit, chairman of APC National Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Mai Mala Birni, and Southeast representative in the Caretaker Committee, former President of Senate Ken Unamani visited Jonathan in his Abuja abode. Speculations of the possibility of the former president staging a comeback become rife when some northern groups and players in the current dispensation started canvassing the idea of another Jonathan presidency in 2023. Part of the allure is said to be that being a nice man, Jonathan was not likely to exceed one term in office and return the baton to the North if he succeeds President Buhari. Moreover, Jonathan's assertion that the unity, stability, and progress of our dear country are more important than anything else after he lost the 2015 poll is said to be resonating so well with northern political actors that they are wary of ceding power to the South. Some presidency insiders say President Buhari was elated by the former president's presence at the Eagle Square during Nigeria's 60th anniversary celebration, just as he still recalls with relief how Jonathan called him 5:15 p.m. on March 31, 2015 to concede defeat at the election. Although former President Jonathan's special assistant on media, Ike Chukwueze, downplayed the visit of the APC chieftain to Jonathan, the former president recently reignited talks about his possible entry into the 2023 calculations when he told reporters bluntly it is too early to talk about that. It is a well-acknowledged fact that former President Jonathan lacks the sophisticated sagacity or disloyalty of established Nigerian politicians. However, his weak assertion that it was too early to talk about 2023 presidential permutations suggested that he must have been privy to such plots. In his pacific disposition, it is not easy to ascertain how bitter the internal disagreement between the former president and immediate past governor Henry Siraki Dixon was over who should be the PDP governor standard bearer of the last Bayelsa gubernatorial poll. While Dixon insisted on Doyediri and Lawrence Irujakpo to pave the way for his eventual sale to the Senate, Jonathan was said to have favored the former managing director of Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), Undotimi Alibe, for the PDP ticket. When Wike and Dixon squared up in verbal pulgism, some insiders said the Rivers State governor was not happy with the way the former Bayelsa governor treated the former president. Jonathan may have reserved his appreciation for Wike's gallant defense. The occasion of Wike's 53rd anniversary provided a golden opportunity for the former president to ventilate his regard for Wike. "You are a hard-working leader who is committed to improving the welfare of the people through service delivery and good governance. All who have visited Rivers State in recent time can attest to your transformational strides and the fact that the state is making tremendous progress under your leadership. As governor of Rivers State, you have displayed great courage and wisdom in protecting the interests of your people, promoting peace and upholding the unity of Nigeria," Jonathan stated in his goodwill message. Also, sources claim that although the Supreme Court sacking of Leon miraculously enthroned Diri as Bayelsa governor, Dixon's obduracy made Jonathan quite uncomfortable with PDP. Would Jonathan consider switching party platform? That is unlikely, but politics is the art of the possible. During the recent National Executive Committee NEC meeting of APC, President Buhari affirmed that there was actually a gentleman's agreement that the presidential ticket of the party would move to the South. It could be recalled that during his 5 years stint as president, Jonathan was supported by the Southeast. As such, Umahi and Unamani's presence lay credence to speculations that by adopting Jonathan, the former president would lead the anticipated political insurgents against PDP in Southeast and South-South. In the event that he falls for the bait, former President Goodluck Jonathan should keep his eyes open to see the booby traps. Dragging Jonathan into the presidential fray might be a ploy after all, perhaps to dilute a Southeast or Tinubu presidency. Whether the former president succumbs to overtures or takes the path of honor to remain a statesman, a former senator and member of National Interest Group, Anthony Agbo has argued that the plan would not augur well for the northern Nigeria. Agbo told The Guardian, "Bringing back the former president can only be good for Nigeria and Nigerians, but shall, without doubt, accomplish the exact opposite of what the planners intended." He disclosed that a Jonathan presidency will reinforce and complicate the problems which the Northern Political Interest Group intended it to solve. Another presidential tenure in 2023 for Goodluck Jonathan will no doubt gladden the hearts of many Nigerians because of his soft and humanistic disposition to governance. But that would certainly end up as a nightmare for the Northern Interest Group propagating it for the fact that at the end of the tenure in 2027, the agitation for Igbo presidency will become so fierce, so desperate and uncontrollable. When that happens, the North itself and the rest of Nigeria will have no option than to grant the Igbo a chance, thereby having the presidency in the South for 3 straight terms, he added. Agbo believes that a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction would benefit the North more than it could benefit the Igbo, adding that Igbo presidency will benefit the North even far more than any Northern president can ever benefit North as a result of the avowed Igbo liberal spirit and nationalistic disposition. Due to the rising political awareness, the insistent and deafening cry for justice all over Nigeria, there seems to be no other way forward for our country than to take a bold step and decisive step to healing the nation by breaking down the walls of suspicion, fear, and inhibitions that separate us and assuage whatever genuine feelings that burden the major segment of the Nigerian nation. Wow. It's really a plot. I just hope that Jonathan will do the right thing, make the right decision. Guys, let's hear your take down below in the comment section. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again with more updates. Bye for now, and God bless.